without any design on it. So let's get started. The measurements I'll be needing our long gown length, our bust circumference, waist circumference, hip circumference, waist length, hip length, then our sleeve length and our round sleeve. Now the gown length we're working with today is 49. So I'll tape out my gown length 49. We'll be adding 1 inch to it for sewing allowance. Making 50. So we are working with 50 inches gown length. We've added our 1 inch sewing allowance to it. Now our dress, we fold it into 4 places. We fold it into 2 actually. That is to get the front and the back, because this our A-shaped gown is not going to have a zip at the back. So we fold this into 2. So the 2 we now fold this into 4 for better measurements. So our fabric is folded into 4. So now we've taped the length. The next thing we'll do, we are working on the neck. So our neck depth, our neck width is 3 inches. That is standard for an adult, 3 inches. If you want it wider, you can make it 4, you can make it 5, and it depends on how wide you want it. And if you want it, okay, sorry, this one is going to have an eye neck collar at the neck part. So I'm not going to use 3 inches, the basic 3 inches. I'm going to reduce it so that the collar can, just like this one, it can fit in the neck properly. So I'm going to use 2.5 so that it can hold the neck properly. So the back, now I'm cutting the front and the back together. But if I want to cut the neck, I will have to shape the neck of the back first, because that one is just 1 inch long. It's 2.5 by 1 inch. While the front will be 2.5 by 3 inches. So if we want to cut the neck now, we're going to cut the front first. The back first. We'll now remove the fabric and cut the front neck. Now, our shoulder, our back is 14. So we will say 14 divided by 2 gives us 7 inches. So 7 plus half inch for our sewing allowance to fix our sleeve. It gives us 7.5. Now our armhole length. Our armhole length will be, we're going to use 7.5, because our round sleeve is just 10 inches. So we're using 7.5. It's not someone that has body like that. So the length of our armhole is 7.5. So we're going to put our tape like this, 7.5 to come this way. So like this. Now the next thing we will do now is to get our bust measurement, and our bust starts from where our armhole starts. That's our bust. Now our bust is 32. 32 divided by 4 will give us 8 inches. So we want the gown to be very free, so we are going to add 2.5 inches to it. So when we add 2.5 inches, it gives us 10.5. So this is 10.5. So we can shape our armhole from where the bust length starts. Now to get our waist, I don't usually measure waist. You can measure your waist length, but I don't. I have a way of calculating it. So what I do is I get my underbust length. Here our underbust length is 11.5. So to get our waist measurement, we add 3 inches to our underbust length. But if it's someone that is fat, that has bust, that is busty, you can add 2 inches or 2.5. It depends. So for this one, I'm going to add 3 inches to 11.5, which is going to give me 14.5. So my waist length for this dress is going to be 14.5. So now our waist is 28. 28 divided by 4 will give us 7, plus our 2.5 allowance, because we want the gown to be very, very free. Just as the way it is in the picture, we want it to be very, very free. So 7 plus 2.5 will give us 9.5. So 9.5. We connect it to the bust, point. Now our hip length. Our hip length is 23. We get our hip length from the shoulder to the hip length. We mark our 23 inches. Now our hip is 35. 35 divided by 2 will give us 17.5. 17.5 divided by 2 will give us 8.75. So that means 35 divided by 4 will give us 8.75. 8.75 plus 2.5. 1, 2.5 will give us 13. 11.25. So this gives us 11.25. So we connect it to the waist. We connect it to the waist. So since this one gives us 11.25, let's assume it gives us 11.5. All we need to do is to add like 6 inches, because I want the down part to be very, very boogie. So I'm going to add 6 inches to that 11.5, which will give us 17.5. Or we'll make it 17. So I will now take this my waist, where my waist measurement got to, I'll connect it to this one at the down part. So I'm going to connect the two together. Connect it from the waist, just to have that A shape. So this is it. That's it. So now for this down part at this edge, I don't want it to look straight at the down part, so I'm just going to come up by 1.5 inch to just bring out that curvy part at the side. So I'll connect it to my measurement like this. So this is it. I connect it down to my gown length. So now the down part is set. So all I need to do now use to cut out my measurements. So I'm going to cut the back neck first. Sorry, my shoulder. At this edge, I'll come down by 1/2 inch. I'll connect it to the shoulder. So this is it. So I have the shoulder slope. So now I'm going to cut out the back. The shoulder. So our dress is set. Please try and mark the wrong parts, because some of these Ankaras, they look alike. So for you to know the wrong part, you have to mark it. You mark it so that, don't worry about the chalk stain. It's going to leave the dress while sewing. So I'm going to remove the back in order to cut out the front neck. So this is our front neck. So cut out the front neck. So this is it. Our A-shape gown is ready. This is the upper part. So we are going to cut out a facing for this upper part. So I want to use the fabric I cut out to cut out the facing for the front, because I don't want to tape. I'm not going to line in it, and I don't want to tape it with bias. You can tape it with bias, or you cut out a facing for it. But the facing is always nice because it will make it look neat. So this is the facing for the front neck. So I'm going to do the same for the back. So now we have facing for the front and for the back. This is the facing for the back, which this is the facing for the front. You can add your paper stay to it before joining it to the fabric, and you can also sew it direct before joining it to the fabric, and after joining it you use your Emi gum to glue it to the fabric, or you hem it with your hand, whichever way you like it. Then for the front, this, because we came down by 3 inches, and when the person wears it, it might not enter the person's neck. So from where the cutting stops, we're going to slash it in. It's going to have an opening at the center. So the opening is going to be 4 inches long. Yes, 4 inches. So this is how it is. Inches. So we'll do the same for the interfacing. Now we want to cut out the sleeve for the dress. Yes, for the sleeve now, we fold our sleeve. Our round sleeve is 7.5. No, our armhole is 7.5, which will give us 15. But we make the armhole 19 so that we will have allowance for sewing and some other things. So now our sleeve length is 15. We've marked the 15 out. So it's going to have like a A-shape sleeve. So we've done it. The normal sleeve is 19, so we came in, we added like 2 inches allowance to it so that we can have that A shape at the edge, so gives us level at the down parts. So at this place we have the round sleeve is meant to be 5 inches, but we added like 3 inches to, so it will be free. It won't be too bulky at that side. So let me cut it out. So our sleeve is out. You notch it at this edge. This place you come in a bit by 1/2 inch so that you don't have that too much. So this is it. This is the sleeve. So you mark the wrong parts. So our sleeve is ready. Now the next thing is our pockets. Now we've cut out the pockets for the gown, because it's an A-shaped gown and it's going to have a pocket that leaves. You should be able to dip your hand into like in a pocket like this. So this is it. Though I had to like manage the fabric. It's very nice if you learn how to manage your fabric. So I had to use out of the pieces. So I'm going to join it at the side and fix my pocket. We'll be seeing how we'll fix it while we're sewing. Thank you for staying tuned with us. Thank you. If you find this very interesting, you can subscribe. Please kindly subscribe to our channel, like and subscribe to our channel, so when we have new videos you'll be notified. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much. See you next time.